Hello, this is Kathleen from the World Economic Federation. This week we will have a quick discussion about the elimination of corporate taxation. In an earlier video, we discussed how we can create a UBI system as well as the Federation's ability to eliminate personal income taxes. Today, we will be discussing eliminating taxation for corporations. The first step in eliminating corporate taxation is to create a new classification for participating companies, the Tax-Exempt Security Corp designation. This tax-exempt eligible security designation is earned by the company by not destroying the environment, paying a living wage, and just generally cleaning up after themselves. Fossil fuel companies, of course, need not apply. They could never qualify. Along with the new classification, a new form of trust is created, the Tax-Exempt Security Trust. With this trust, the owner of the stock can place their stock into the trust, where they can do their normal investments. Only this time, as long as the assets stay within the trust, no activity will incur tax liability. The only time taxes may be due is if cash or stock is removed from the trust itself. As long as everything stays inside the trust, they can make billions of dollars in gains and pay no taxes. The second step is that once the owner has placed their tax-exempt securities in the trust, the government will purchase an equivalent amount of infrastructure sponsorships, from which the government will gain the energy reserve credits for the purchase, as well as the associated month-to-month energy credit revenue. This revenue can then be split with the owner of the security trust. There can be one or more of these types of trusts, based on the government strategy and the sponsorship inventory available to work with. For example, the primary trust form could be a 60-40 split between the government and trust holder that mirrors up to $10 million of sponsorships. If there is still sponsorship inventory available, anything over the cap can be split at 75-25. These energy credits would pay out in a steady stream of tax-exempt energy credits that flow from the government sponsorships into the trust beneficiaries' accounts. This means that not only does the owner get month-to-month income based on their share of $10 million in sponsorships without even selling their stock, but also, the better the company performs, the more their shareholders will make. If the stock grows beyond the cap of the trust from its original amount, it remains exempt, even if there are no sponsorships available for mirroring. These trusts would also have some minor limitations, such as being barred against high-frequency trading. In the event of the trust holder's death, the trust and its contents can be transferred to the heirs of the trust holder tax-free. If the trust holder was also a parent, for example, they could transfer tax-exempt securities directly to their children's trusts as well, without incurring taxation penalties up to the trust cap. This proposal would effectively end capital gains and gift taxes for approximately 99% of the population. Additionally, companies that benefit from tax-exempt security status in good standing benefit from not having to pay any corporate taxes as well. After all, they are not messing up the environment. They pay their employees a living wage, and they have the means to carry themselves without exploiting the welfare systems to feed corporate bonuses and dividends. You have heard of means testing on people for certain government programs. This is the exact same thing, only for corporations. If you make a mess, you pay taxes. You clean up after yourself like a responsible adult. You just need to stay off the public dime, and your company does not have to pay taxes, your security becomes tax-exempt eligible, and your shareholders get ongoing energy credit payouts while the government gets funded. If you want to run business the old way and complain about taxes for some perceived competitive advantage, have fun with that. If you want to offer your shareholders reduced or zero estate taxes, the valuation advantages of zero taxes, and benefits from the Federation Business Support Program that helps offset costs in healthcare and other business expenses, you can make investments in your company more appealing while eliminating taxes and pass that value on to your shareholder, not by dividending out, but by investing in the future in ways that positively affect the long-term growth of the stock value. Why do dividends when the Federation system and your government effectively pay you an ongoing dividend every month based on the value in the trust up to the total sponsorships? I am not sure how a company would be able to offer better value than a tax-exempt security corporation. Do you want your corporation to become a tax-exempt corp that pays monthly dividends for the good you do to your shareholders? Working with the government, we can also look into creating a trust system for privately held companies. This would allow family farms to be transferred to the next generation tax-free, up to the cap designated by the government. No more would mega corporations buy out agricultural land for a song in a distressed sale due to estate taxes. Your family legacy would simply be more secure participating in the Federation than it would be otherwise. The Federation is truly about being by the people for the people. Most of us don't worry about corporate taxes. Most of us won't reach the limit that triggers estate taxes. But all of us have to worry when big corporations don't do their part to cover their employees' health care, or harm the environment, or need to worry so much about making their shareholders happy that costs end up shoved over onto us average taxpayers. By making capitalism pay for the big corporations, but this time in a responsible, sustainable way, we can make capitalism pay for everybody. We're tired of the argument that the economy is a zero-sum game. We can't have social services without too many taxes and mortgaging the country's future. So why don't we try something new? Let's take care of people and balance the budget. That's making capitalism pay for everybody. If you like that idea, like, share, and subscribe.